everybody, and welcome back once again to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 2, the Enhanced Edition. In the last session, we were attacked by Githyanki scum once again, yes, and it caused a bit of a scene in the town. If you recall, many people turned against us, and I was a little bit confused as to what was going on. Looking back at the video when I was editing it, I noticed what had happened. You see, Jaheira has this cloak of reflection, which reflects electrical damage back to the source. So when the Githyanki, magic users were casting their bolts of lightning at us, it reflected off Jaheira's cloak, hit the local bystanders, and the game registered it as an attack by Jaheira. So that was the problem. I would still have reloaded it though, knowing that, because it seems a little... Or actually, if I knew that, I'd have taken the cloak off in the first place. But yeah, that was the problem. That was the issue. Never mind. The second thing from the last session, we got some weapons commissioned by Cromwell, hoping to sell them for a profit. We've had them appraised, and rather unfortunately, that is not the case. He won't touch the silver sword with a 10-foot barge pole, naturally. Githyanki attack anybody that have possession of this. But the Equalizer we're selling at a loss. Casimir, of course, is a sword we've picked up quite recently. Very nice sword indeed. I did say that he's not one for collecting items for display, but I feel like his hand is being forced here. So perhaps this is the start of Godan's collection of legendary items. Of course, we also have the Flail of the Ages, which we have linked to Corgan at the moment. So yeah, 3 lovely swords to stash away somewhere and to display in his tower further north when we finally get back home. So that's that. We've also done some shopping. Yes, we have. Don't know if you noticed, but Godan's sporting a different helmet. And his coin purse has reduced significantly from the 100,000 that he had. 70,000, I think, after we'd finished with Cromwell. We've got this helmet from Rybal Barterman's. It's one of the specialty items, not sold by him, but sold by Deirdre. It's Valor's helm. Now, this has been available to us for a long time, and we've overlooked it. But now, I've realised the potential power of this thing. It allows a man such as Godan, a fighter no less, to cast Simulacrum once per day. Now this summons an exact replica of the caster, aka Godan, with 60% health, but all of his abilities and stuff. So if we use that, I'm thinking... So it's an expensive punt at 22,000 coin, but I'm thinking that we'll get a slightly dumbed down version of Godan Firehammer, which is not a bad thing. It's the equivalent of an extra summon, a summon with a bit of an attitude problem. So having 2 Godans running around the field would be quite useful. So I thought this is probably worth a punt, to see how that works. But I'm thinking, yeah, 2 Godans tanking something would be pretty nice, for the more tricky fights. So Valor's helm for Godan. It does provide armor class as well. So giving Corgan the cast-off, which is the helm of Baldur. So that was the first thing that we purchased. The other things that we've purchased were spells for Neera. Now I've just noticed before starting the session, rather annoyingly, that we bought Chain Contingency, Spell Trap and Shape Change. We already had time stock. These are all level 9 spells. At the start of the session we couldn't learn these. We sipped a potion of Genius and a potion of Mind Focusing, and it seems like we now can do it. Might be an intelligence prerequisite. The issue we have now is she only has a 96% chance to learn spells because one of the potions has worn off, so we'll learn these a little bit later. She can't cast them now anyway. In addition to those, we also purchased, I think, Protection from the Elements. So she's now completed her level 7 spells, almost. There's Summon Hackishar, I think, left to go. We also purchased Power World Blind as well for level 8. So, yes, a bit of a spending spree for Godan, sorted and done. We've checked in with Imowen at the Copper Coronet, and we have, spent a little bit of time together. We've been absent for a while, and she's on her own. She's got Minsk for company, and Yoshimo. They're having a whale of a time, and we've instructed them all to head over to Godan's keep, the Dearnese lands as were, and hold up there and just wait for our return. You know, as it is, the party will remain intacto. It's with, you know, a heavy heart that we don't bring Imowen with us, but she's a bit traumatised from the events and stuff, and Godan wants to keep her safe out of harm's way, and this is quite a well-oiled machine, as you have seen. So she's going to be entertaining the Major Domo and Nalia back at our keep. She'll be perfectly fine. You know, they've got cooks and everything, and when we come back we can have a real proper catch-up there. So what we're going to do in today's session then? Well, my friends, there's a few things that we could do whilst we're here in Afkatla. The first thing is, we've been towing Valigar's body around for some time. It's become a bit of a standing joke now when Godan reaches into his pack that he has to rummage past Valigar's body, which by some minor miracle isn't decomposing in the damn bag of holding that we have. Considering it as non-dimensional space, it's you know, no oxygen and such to break him down. But yes, thinking back to the purpose of this man's body, he mentioned something about the planar sphere, and the cowled wizards wanted his body to get inside the planar sphere. Inside a planar sphere was a mage of some power, and therefore in that sphere may well be some lucrative items when Godan thinks about it. So now that he's back here in Afkatla and has a bit more time on his hands, to a certain degree, you know, Irenicus is causing holy hell in Suldanesselar and all that, but we could use his body on the planar sphere and see what happens. We're expecting cowled wizards to appear. Tolgarius wasn't happy with us after all, but if we can get inside and loot the place, it could be beneficial. We may find stuff in there that helps us in our fight with Bodhi, for instance. So that's the first thing that we could do while we're in the city. The second thing that we could do is head to the graveyard district, because that is how we trigger the quest with Hexat, the retrieval of the dead baby shroud, as Godan rather untactfully calls it. That will trigger that quest line, and we can go and do that. Alternatively, and what we are going to do is we're going to leave the city, actually, temporarily, because there's a dragon out there, somewhere in the big wide world, that we can possibly slay. And it hasn't gone, I'm sure, past your notice that Godan was not the one responsible for slaying Firecrag. He will twist the tail, I'm sure, when he tells it, but he knows deep down it wasn't him that did it. It was all Nera's doing. And very efficient she was too. So over way back in the Umar Hills, in the Dark Temple, there was a shadow dragon. Now I think it might still be there, even though we have killed the Shadow Lord. And if Godan can chalk up, you know, a kill on a dragon himself, you know, he'd be even with Nera, you know? So for bragging rights alone, I think, after what's just happened with Firecrag, I think he wants to stamp his authority and take down this Shadow Dragon. So I think that's probably going to be a bit more fun than rooting around in a planar sphere right now. So that is going to be the goal for today's session. First thing though, we need to go to our hold and quickly check in with our junk drawer and nab ourselves the Shadow Dragon Wardstone. So I'll do that now, and we will resume as we are returning to the Umar Hills. Right, so we have the required Wardstone. I'm going to switch Godan out from his bartering clothes into his battle clothes, and we are going to go on our merry way.
Yes, I await your
little
word.
Adventure to the temple ruins. Hopefully we won't be stopped on the way.
What is my task?
And we can make our way rather serenely back to the Shadow Dragon. So again, I think what we'll do is I'll cut the backtracking and we'll resume once I am in position. Okay, we're back folks, and we are ready to rock and roller. Oh yes indeed.
Yes,
So
shall be.
first things first is just to check whether or not this creature
It done.
is still here. Yes it is, that's good. That's very good indeed, in fact. So that's the first part of the plan sorted. The second part of the plan is to cast a few little bits and bobs on Godan. Now, I don't think if we cast spells in general, it will see us. Might be wrong.
Be quick with it.
Just to be careful.
I'll best be paid well for this.
What is my task?
So Godan needs to do a couple of
best.
things and have a couple of things cast on him. So first of all, he needs to drink an oil of speed. Very good. The next thing,
Nature's servant
to cast negative plane protection on him. That's very good as well. So you've got negative plane protection. You've got haste.
On my honor.
Right, here we go.
Yes.
So what am I going to do? What are you doing, you say? Well, this is what we're doing. We're going to transform ourselves into... Bear with me.
Yes.
Mustard jelly form. Oh, yes, indeed. Attack! How amusing that you petty fleshlings would dare disturb the slumber of the shadow dragon. Are you deaf, blind? Whatever, I shall tear your bodies apart and feast on your innards while you whimper and cry for mercy. So Godan attacking this creature whilst in the form of a mustard jelly. Meanwhile, Nera is going to summon forth... In fact, we don't need to summon forth anything at the minute. We need to breach him. Ooh, what happened to Nera? Wild Surge slowed, but she did cast Breach though.
Ready for anything.
Okay, so
That's it?
so no, my
Happy to
dear.
help.
Now we're going to cast
try to help.
Greater Malison. We're going to cast Doom. Lower his saves.
I'm ready.
Then we're going to lower his magical resistances.
My weapon.
Suffering a little bit of damage. I don't think Godan is hitting him. Weapon ineffective. Yeah, he's just tanking. He can't do any damage to this thing at the minute, which is fine. It's not what we just need to keep him occupied for now.
Yes.
One more lower resistance. Is she casting it? Nera again with a wild surge. Held.
Fine.
It's fine. I think she.
What'll it
I think she saved. Probably should cast Chaos Shield actually with all these spells flying. Right. Casting Mordekainen's sword to help with the tanking. Help with the tanking duties.
Yes,
My
it is
weapon
done.
has no effect. My weapon.
So okay, go down. Just keep going, son. Keep going. Keep going. Sending in the Mordekainen's sword.
Ready for anything.
Right, one more lower resistance required.
A dangerous mistake. A solid hit.
I think he's silenced the spells
What is my task?
as he's death spelled the magical sword. Right, that's fine.
Happy to
That's
help.
perfectly and reasonably
help him.
fine.
I am ready, Jacques.
Now going to summon Undead to help out with the tanking.
I'm
Meanwhile,
ready.
he should now be quite low magic resistance, low saves. So now we're going to unleash triple flame arrow.
Yes, Abel.
I hope he's not immune to fire. I don't think he is.
It is about time.
Also, let's see what else we can do here. Fire elemental. Okay, it did hit him. Still a little bit of magic resistance though.
What'll it be?
Rather unfortunately, but we've got what we've got. Minute meteors. So sending in the summons. Also now summoning a Nishru. Or an aerial servant, whatever you want to call it. Summoning in a Nishru. Where's your Nishru, love? Who's got the Nishru? Why is it not? I'm sure I memorised that. There it is. Couldn't find it for looking.
A solid.
Okay. It's fine.
Ready for anything.
Right, it's casting haste now.
What do you want? Me axe be bloody ready.
And let's start now to hopefully get a bit of tanking and spanking on the go. So getting all our enchanted weapons on. It's a +3 weapon this. Should be okay to hit him with. Thrown. Okay, done. She's got minute meteors now, or she will do very shortly, in fact. Okay.
Happy to help. To try to help.
Right. Attack.
A skullbreaker.
And there falls Faxilicilia.
On my honor. Very well.
Very satisfying indeed. Right,
Yes.
Godan, you can now turn back into a human if you wish. Or a dwarf, rather.
Done.
45,000 experience. Very good indeed. So, yeah, the key to that battle is the mustard jelly tank. The mustard jelly tank. Godan can now truly take some plaudits. Because although he probably didn't technically strike the killing blow, he had the pivotal role in destroying this particular dragon. So take that, Nera. Although you got to admit, Nera soloing it pretty much as a mind flare, probably slightly more dramatic.
Nature could find a home
On my
here
honor.
that will properly
As
cleanse
you
the balance.
So from this dragon's body, we take Shadow Dragon Scales, which of course will be a Cromwell item, and more importantly, a rather handy scroll. A yellowed parchment describing the process used by ancient dwarven smiths, or the ancient dwarven smith silver blade, to forge the original Hammer of Thunderbolts. Combining the Hammer of Thunderbolts, the Gauntlets of Ogre Power, and the Girdle of Frost Giant Strength, and using the power of the hammer's true name, an ultimate weapon of destruction could be completed using this scroll. Now,
Most unpleasant memories.
it's a rather fitting time for that to happen, because I've just mentioned the fact that Godan is probably going to start to turn towards collecting items of,
Have too much in my pack,
great
You'll have to
power.
get that up off the ground.
I think you'll agree that the description of that particular weapon does sound like something that would be of great interest to Godan to collect, would it not? Right. Yeah, I think so. Let's not leave it behind. That would be rather foolish. So we've got the scroll, we've got the scales, we've got some loot and plunder, but more importantly, Godan's got bragging rights. So well done, Mr. Firehammer. Well
Yes.
done indeed. So what's next on our list of stuff to do today? Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, taking down a dragon in one session surely has got to be par for the course. But no, we'll go a little bit further, and we're going to now go back to Afkatla. No doubt going to rest up in the inn. We're going to regale the entire place with a story of how we've just taken down a dragon. Again, you know, 2 dragons in the space of 3 or 4 days. I mean, come on. If that's not epic hero status, what the hell is? Yeah, so after all that, we'll then be in the slums district ready to inspect the planar sphere. So join me for that in a second.
On my honor.
Okay, so we've rested up in the Mythrest. About to set on out to our destination, which is the slums district. Much to Godan's horror again, doesn't like the place. But on our way out, there's a character here who we've not stumbled across before, Radil.
Yes?
Don't know what on earth he's doing here.
As you ask.
Just a random person.
What is my task? It shall be.
Oh, very strange. Okay, to the slums then.
Consider it done. On my honor.
More importantly, to the planar sphere. Of course, keeping one eye out for cowled wizards, who are obviously no doubt still interested in gaining access. But Godan eager to beat them to the punch. Looks like the old sphere is still sealed. Still the locals around, looking at it with a sense of wonderment. Imagine their faces when we walk inside. Don't mind me, just strolling on in. Okay, so let's give this a whirl then. Don't know how it's going to work, but we do have Valigar's body in our bag of holding. So perhaps Godan undertaking the rather gruesome task while asking his party to shield him from the onlookers, so as if not to cause too much alarm. But yeah, removing Valigar's long dead body from our bag of holding and perhaps pressing his dead palm against the door to see what happens.
Yes, it shall be.
Upon touching the planar sphere, Valigar's body dissolves. Yeah, it's a good job they were shielding the locals from that rather horrific sight. But yes, the door is now open to us. The riches await. Godan eager to step inside.
That is my task.
And for that, my friends, we'll do that next time. I'll leave in a slightly tiny little cliffhanger. Yes, it's a shorter session, but I'll do the planar sphere in the next one. So it's quite large, so you'll get a longer session tomorrow, so you're in for a treat. But yeah, for now, dragons are down, the sphere is open, and Godan's about to step inside. Join me next time to see just what he gets up to in there. Until then, see you soon.